Hey guys, welcome in. I hope you all are doing alright. My name is Brianna and I've got a story to share. Trigger warning because it's an experience that involves the psychological and emotional abuse of the dark mother. This morning, I was in the bathroom about like 6:30 in the morning. I'm in the bathroom getting ready for the day. Just outside of the bathroom door, there's a lot of like chaos, a lot of screaming and aggression. There are children and there's an adult. Most of the chaos, the majority of the chaos is coming from the adult. The adult is very cruel and angry and fiery and harsh and abusive and manipulative. She's the grandmother. She's responsible for all of these children. And the way that she treats these children, it's psychologically and emotionally abusive, especially for a child. This adult is raging and uncontrollable. She's not in control of herself. She's raging, fiery, mad at 6:30 in the morning. 6:30 in the morning, this is like a programming, right? Day in, day out, day in, day out. It's a program the program that she runs on. So she wakes up and she's right on it. She's like very angry and she's lashing out like the whip. Every time she opens her mouth, it's like ah, ah, ah. So it's like a whip of energy onto these children. So this morning, she's raging, moving, her energy's moving like through the majority of the house and just filling the entire house with these terrible energies, right? Energies that don't feel good. So the children are attempting to be children, right? The children are attempting to be children, socializing. It's before they get ready for school, socializing, talking, laughing, right? But this woman desires she feeds off of control, but it's depravity, right? It's depravity. So it's very extreme. This woman is in a lack consciousness. There's not enough. She doesn't have enough. So she has to take whatever she can, and she chooses to take through cruelty, right? Through harshness. It's like that vision I had of a unicorn being in a cage and someone like zapping it with a taser, because every time they zap it, magic comes out. So every time she whips these children with her words, with her anger, she absorbs their sadness, their fear, right? And she feels empowered by it. She feels like it makes her abundant. So this morning, I'm in the bathroom getting ready for the day, and there's this chaos, and I'm just listening, right? I'm listening to everything that's going on, and this energy is moving like through the living room, and there are children around, and she's like wanting them to stop talking, wanting them to stop having a good time, just wanting them to sit there and wait for her. So every time she came through, it was a lash. I told you, be quiet, don't talk. Very harsh, very cruel, very invasive and dominating. Nobody knows this about this woman because When she goes out in public, she's very friendly. She wears a mask, right? She's also very Christian. She's also very religious. She's very religious, but her religion is superficial. Her religion is superficial, and she also uses that as a way to control. She uses religion as a way to control others, to manipulate, right? So when she goes out in public, she's just seen as this grandmother figure, right? Who took in her daughter's 2 children, who took in her daughter's 4 children, right? But there's a story, there's a crazy story behind that, and I'm gonna share it because I'm gonna tell all your secrets, because you keep fucking with me and you feel like you can bully me, and I can't be bullied. So I'm gonna tell all of your secrets. When all of this was happening, all of this chaos was happening, I was like, because it's triggering for me, right? Because I'm very sensitive, right? So it's very triggering for me, and I'm in the bathroom like, what should I do? What should I do? Like, should I go out there? Should I say something? Children are crying at this point. Like, children are screaming at this point, because this woman, she moved through the crowd, and she like hit one of the children. Back to what I was saying about her persona, right? So because she's seen as this grandmother figure, she, other people in the community, they come to her as like a babysitter, like, hey, can I drop the children off with you in the morning because I have to go to work? I have to be to work at this time. Can I drop the children off with you in the morning, and then you just walk them to the bus stop? Because she's already walking like 4 other kids to the bus stop. And she's like, yeah, of course, for sure, of course. So she has all of these children around her. She has all of this love around her, the love of these children, the innocence of these children. She has them around her, children that like aren't even biologically hers. And they're young children, right? Young children. Not super young, like between the ages of like 7 and 10. Hit this child. The child is not her biological child. It's just one of the children that she's responsible for getting to the bus stop. She hit her, or she handled her aggressively. I heard like this shout from the woman. It was like a command, and then I heard the child scream. It wasn't really like a I'm in pain scream. It was more like a like my feelings are hurt scream. Like, I didn't expect you to do that. Like, you broke my trust scream. Like, now I don't trust you anymore. Like, how dare you? How could you? Right? Instead of like apologizing or even comforting the child, this woman, she started like blaming the child. She was like, I told you, stop crying because this is your fault. I told you. So immediately trying to change the child's mind, or like cloud her judgment, or lead her thoughts in a new direction. Like, oh shit, like maybe this was my fault because, she did tell me. But the child, she wasn't having it. She was still screaming like, uh-uh. Don't be crying. I don't know what you crying for. Like, you're the one. This is your fault, right? That went on for like maybe like 3 minutes, right? As this child is just crying. And then once the woman saw that that wasn't working, she changed her approach. She like took it down a little bit, and she was like, come here. Like, trying to be like nurturing to the child, but even there's no empathy. I don't know, even her attempt to be nurturing was still very harsh, and the child was like, no, I'm not coming to you. You gotta go to school. Let me wipe your face. The child's like, nope, I'm gonna let everybody see all these tears in my eyes as I get on the bus so they can ask me what happened, right? And I can talk about it. But the woman insisted, let me wipe your face, let me wipe your face, let me wipe your face, come here, come here. And the child was like, no, right? I'm not coming to you. I'm going to stand here with these tears in my eyes. The woman saw that that wasn't working, and then she tried to bring it down, like, even just a bit more. And she started calling her by her name, trying to, like, soothe it, but it was already too late for the child at that point. She decided that she was just going to stand there with those tears in her eyes. You're not going to touch me. I'm just going to stand here. Oh, Granny baby, you're the youngest of Granny's babies. So just trying to be comforting, but I don't think the child was going for it. So the woman like got up, she went over to the child and then brought the child into a back room, away from the other children. Meanwhile, all of the other children are laughing at this child and bullying this child as this child is just standing there heartbroken, right? The other children are making fun of it because that's the way they've been trained. There's no empathy, no sympathy. Whenever someone cries, I don't know what you crying for, because their feelings are hurt or they need something. I'm gonna share another story. Yeah, I'm gonna tell all your secrets because this dark mother energy, it's a collective consciousness, right? So it's not just my mother or your mother. There's a whole group of them. This is what they've done. There was a wound created here. There was a wound, a heavy load, a burden created in this child emotionally, right? And then it was covered by like shame. You did this, covered by shame, covered by what else? Guilt. And then like soothed with fake love, right? Come here, Granny's baby. Like soothed with fake love. Let me tell y'all, that's not even like the fucked up part. So the woman took the child into the back room and she said, here, you wipe your face. You wipe your face, or I'm gonna do it for you. The child is crying, right? The child is crying. And then the woman, like, is like wiping her face, and I can hear her voice like increasingly getting more angry and rageful. So it started out like, here, you what? And then it ended in like a full on screaming. Like this woman was hammering this child with all of this negativity and forcefulness, right? This burden. And the child is like screaming at this point. I'm in the bathroom, my heart is pounding. Boom, 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 boom. Got my hands on my knees, I'm like crouched over a little bit, like, what the fuck should I do? At this point, she's like screaming, right? She's screaming. And the woman is panicking just a little bit. She's panicking because she doesn't want anybody to see the child in distress, especially not at the school bus. She kept saying to the child, you want everybody to see you on the school bus like that? You want people to see you crying on the school bus like that? You don't want to go to school like that? Shaming her for crying, right? People will see these tears and they're going to ask me what happened, and I'm going to tell them what happened. And then, so when the lady realized that, right, when she realized that the child was going to go out with tears in her eyes, she flipped the switch, right? This is what she did. She found something else. It was a water bottle. The water and the bottle, the water bottle that she was going to take to school with her, she put it on the couch and the water had spilled out and made a little stain on the couch. Didn't I tell you not to put the water bottle on the couch? And then she said, if that stain isn't dried up by the time you get home from school, I'm gonna make you sit in it. And this just like sent the child on a spiral, right? She started screaming and stomping. I don't want to sit in the wet spot. So now the child feels like she's crying about the wet spot, right? The woman, she just continues with it. Yeah, I'm going to make you sit in that wet spot. I'm going to make just triggering and triggering and triggering and triggering. The child is crying and crying and crying and crying. She's like, I'm going to make you sit in that wet spot. I don't want to sit in the wet spot. Just having like a full-blown meltdown. And one of the other children started screaming at the child, stop stomping in here, you too old for that, don't be stomping in here. So the other children are also like bullying and targeting this one child. After I heard that, I went out and everybody's like, oh, it's on TV, it's on TV. It's her, she's doing all the crying, she's the one acting like that. And then I looked for her and I see her there just like wiping her eyes and having this meltdown, right? And I grabbed her hand, I took her hand and I like squatted down to her level and I covered her ears because the woman was still screaming at her. She was still like blaming her. She didn't want me, I guess she feels like I don't have ears and I can't hear. I guess she feels like she can manipulate me, but she's an idiot. So she was still blaming the child, right? You know I ain't gonna make you sit in that wet spot. You crazy girl. Stop crying. You ain't got nothing to be crying about. You know I ain't gonna make you sit in that wet spot. And I covered the child's ears. And then when I covered her ears, she looked at me and she gave me a hug and I gave her a hug. And I whispered in her ear, I said, tell your mother how you've been treated. Tell your mother what happened here. And then I just retreated back into my cave. But the woman is relentless, right? So even after that, she's like still blaming her. You waking up everybody in the house, you crying for no reason, like still trying to get her to change her mind. And there's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of manipulation, both mental and emotional manipulation, abuse. And all of that happened in like the span of 10 minutes, right? I'm gonna tell more stories because I've got lots of stories about the Dark Mother and destiny swapping. I've learned all of their secrets and I'm gonna tell all of their secrets because they're doing too much. It's getting a bit out of control. Children are suffering like nobody other than the Dark Mother benefits. It's a consciousness. It's a collective consciousness. We've got the underworld at the bottom of the deck. The underworld. And the evil queen. That is Hogo right here. That she go right here. Cruel and malevolent. Energetic manipulation. Yeah, I'm gonna tell all your secrets. Black sheep, she's the reason. She's the reason that we have this wound, this black sheep wound. Oh my God, don't make me cry. It's something that was given to us in early childhood, right? Early childhood. This wound, this black sheep wound that we carry with us, we don't know why. We're afraid. It's her. It's her. Wanting to be the queen, right? Wanting to be the queen. The underworld. She wants to be the queen. Oh, okay. She wants to be the queen of the underworld. I'm getting underworld as earth, right? Because while we're here, we are descended. We have descended from heaven onto earth, right? Into the underworld. So she wants to be the queen. This matriarch, this mother, this toxic mother wants to be the queen of the underworld. But time's up. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Don't make me mad. Somebody else with the plan, right? Somebody else has a plan. Somebody else has a better blueprint. Somebody else has a better blueprint. So you gotta go. You gotta get the fuck up out of here. Your blueprint's outdated. Okay, what can we know about this? Should I use these cards? Got padlock. Let's see. I'm just going to pull a few cards since these already came out. What can we know about this? I saw past. Past. P-A-S-T. What else can we know about this? Turtle, inner guidance, homecoming. So victim card. This one likes to play the victim. This one likes to play the victim. It's not me, it's you. I did nothing. I mean, this energy is like, it works in the shadows. It's very low vibrational. This energy is very low vibrational. And even in the underworld, there has to be order, right? There has to be order and harmony. So you gotta go. You've been fucking up. You're fired. You're fired. You're losing your position. You're losing your position as the matriarch. Because you've abused it. You've abused it. So you gotta go. We've got crutch, toxic codependency. We've got tantrum, intimidation tactics, toxic codependency. It says the crutch represents excessive dependence on someone or something for support, stability, or comfort. Be mindful of individuals who may rely on you to advance their development or maintain their current status or role. Maybe this person is overly dependent on your energy. I did get something about that. How they've stayed in power, right? Stayed in power because they create these wounds in these children and they trigger the wounds. They use the wounds to manipulate the child, right? They do all of this secretly, discreetly, in the shadows. And as the child gets older, this evil queen puts them in a position to where they... It's like the parents who like push their kids to be like Britney Spears. Britney Spears. Her parents pushed her out in the spotlight and they worked her like a horse. They worked her like a horse. They took away lots of her freedoms, right? She was the unicorn in the cage being zapped with the taser. They took everything from her. So that's how they stay in power, right? Even on like a smaller scale, right? This woman, this evil queen, she takes from you, right? She takes from you. She expects, right? Expects you to take care of her. She expects you to give to her. She takes a lot. She's very entitled, but she needs you. She depends on you to advance her status or to maintain her current status or role. She depends on you to maintain this position. And then we've got intimidation tactics. Be mindful of individuals who use harmful tactics, such as shouting, cursing, or lashing out to assert control over others. The keywords are manipulation, aggression, threats, screaming, crying, even crying, playing the victim. Playing the victim? She wants to be the queen. Get your ass out of here. There's a better way. There's a more balanced way, and someone's coming for your spot. Someone's already here for your spot. There's a more balanced way. Like when I went out into the chaos and locked eyes with that child, and she immediately stopped crying and just fell into my arms. There's a better way. This is really cool. We've got we've got the King of Swords with the Ace of Cups. The King of Swords is he's like clear, decisive decision making, right? But with love, you can still be a leader, a strong leader, a wise leader, but do it in a way that doesn't feel harsh. You can do it with love and compassion. Even in the underworld, there are goddesses in the underworld for this reason, right? To maintain the balance. To maintain the balance, they're the mothers of the underworld. They're the nurturers of the underworld. Because even the underworld needs balance. All things must be balanced and in harmony and flow with the universe. Okay, guys. I'm going to leave it there. The last card is Karma. Karma and Evil Queen. Divine Justice is coming for this Evil Queen energy. You're being exposed. I was like... saying, like, in the bathroom, I was like, what should I do, Spirit? What should I do? And I was like, expose him. Expose him. I thought I was telling my spiritual team that, like, expose her. Let everybody see who she really is. Expose her. But they were telling me that. They were telling me to expose this collective consciousness. And this is karma, divine justice for all these evil queens. Even if they don't know it, their actions, their dark actions, exposure, Spirit ain't playing. Their dark actions is attracting this karma. The karma may be exposure of hidden secrets. Spirit said it's coming in fast. Acceleration, fast moving energy. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.